In this box is a treasured family heirloom that's been in my wife's family for nearly 100 years. And each holiday season, I create a new manger for our nativity scene. I'm starting out by ripping down some scrap wood from an old swing set that used to be in my backyard. These pieces are going to initially make up the 4 main posts that hold up the roof. The base of the manger is an old piece of melamine that'll be painted to look like a wood floor. I started off trying to use the pin nailer to attach the posts, but it didn't hold that well. So I'll be using hot glue and some wood glue for most of the construction. Hot glue holds better and is stronger than a lot of people give it credit for, and is a lot quicker to use than traditional glue, especially in colder weather. And since this will all be torn down after the holidays, I'm not too worried with it lasting for a long period of time. I'm working on a design for a more permanent manger that can be taken apart and flat packed. But that project won't be ready in time for the holidays this year. Building this way might seem a little weak at first, but with each new crosspiece, the structure becomes rigid pretty quickly. I'm purposely being a little rough with the design, and since I want it to look somewhat plain, I'm letting a lot of the edges appear frayed like it was cobbled together from scraps. A lot of the main appeal will be added with the decorations and finishing touches that my wife will provide at the end of the project. I initially wanted to stain the wood to make it look old, but since it's getting colder, I don't want to wait for it to dry. So I'm faking it with some black latex paint. Instead of painting it on with a brush, I'm wiping it on with a rag. This helps prevent the paint from pooling up, but it also drives the pigment into the wood. Any areas that look too perfect or not rustic enough will get hit with some sandpaper to knock back some of the paint and make it look even more worn. The last thing needed for the structure is the roof. The roof is also a fairly simple construction with nothing more than a square of 1/4-inch plywood with thinly ripped slats of wood pin nailed to the top. When my part of the project is done, for the last part, I'll let somebody with a little bit more credibility talk about these unique nativity figures.
These hand-carved wooden figures were made in Italy in the early 1900s and were handed down to my grandmother by her godmother when she married in 1947. Since then, they were passed on to my mother and then now to me. The figures have been through some tough times and even survived a civil war. The top of Joseph's head has lots of damage. Pieces of his ceramic hair are falling apart. Even so, these figures are extremely special and mean a great deal to me and my family, and I feel honored to share their history with you.
And from all of us here at GeekBuilders, happy holidays and a happy new year. That was way off key. Happy holidays, everyone.